Our next guest is Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth. Senator Duckworth serves on the Armed Services and Foreign Relations Committee, among others. Senator Duckworth, we thank you so much for joining us tonight. For those who aren't familiar, you're also an Iraq War veteran, Purple Heart recipient. You were among the first Army women to fly combat missions during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and we certainly thank you for your service. Given that, how do Pete Hegseth's comments that women should not be in combat roles sit with you?
Well, you know, obviously I have my personal opinions, but as a U.S. Senator, my job will be to determine whether or not he's qualified to be Secretary of Defense. And frankly, it shows me that he's not, because he doesn't understand the realities of modern warfare. We're not talking about the Revolutionary War where there's a line behind which, you know, this is combat and that's not combat. If you were in the green zone in Iraq, in Baghdad, you were in a combat zone, whether you were a helicopter pilot like myself or a truck driver, which, by the way, is a job that women have been doing since World War I. So it just showed me that he really, you know, doesn't understand modern warfare and is therefore not qualified to be Secretary of Defense.
Of course, we're watching how Trump's cabinet is coming together, including Matthew Whitaker as NATO ambassador. Given your committee roles, your 23 years of service in our military, what impact do you think that these cabinet picks will have on our global standing?
Well, I think it's already scaring our allies and our friends around the world. I think it is giving our adversaries hope. I think the fact is that whether you are Iran or Russia or the communist Chinese government, you are probably eagerly awaiting the return of Donald Trump, and these cabinet appointees or, you know, nominees, potential nominees, just reinforces the fact that you're going to have a cabinet that is one that's going to do whatever Donald Trump wants them to do, and all you have to do if you are a dictator anywhere in the world is just to appeal to Donald Trump's ego, and you'll get what you want.
Trump, as you know, has tapped Representative Tulsi Gabbard for the role of National Intelligence Director, despite Gabbard being accused of amplifying Russian propaganda. Your reaction to her in this pivotal national security role?
Yeah, again, she's not qualified for the job. She did serve in the military, but when she was in Iraq, she was a medical records clerk E4. That's below the rank of sergeant. That's below even the rank of corporal. Later on, when she became a military officer, she spent just 3 months. That's it, just 3 months training the Kuwaiti National Guard. And you know, and in the meantime, since she was elected to Congress at the same time I was, into the House of Representatives, since that time, what has she done? She's become an apologist for Vladimir Putin. She's gone out and met with Bashar Assad, you know, dictators and authoritarian leaders around the world. Frankly, I don't think that she could hold a security clearance, and you know, this is why she's not qualified for the position.
The Senate is expected to have some late nights this week working to confirm President Biden's nominees for the federal judiciary, especially with Senate Republicans attempting to delay or block the nominees. Obviously, this is a core function of the Senate. How do you see this playing out?
Well, this is, you know, really Republicans trying to block, but we're going to pass all of these judicial nominees. We're going to get them confirmed. We were here, whether we get it done at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or after midnight like we did on Monday. We're prepared to be here until 4 a.m. this morning or 7 a.m. tomorrow. I'm not going to leave here until we get these judges onto the bench. The federal judiciary is too important to leave these judicial positions open, and we're going to do everything we can to get these judges placed.
You've said in the past that you want to bridge the partisan gap in the Senate. What are some specific areas where you do think that you can work closely with your colleagues across the aisle?
Well, I do think that there are places where we can work together. I've worked a lot with Senator Sullivan of Alaska on opposing the PRC when it comes to Taiwan and making sure we strengthen Taiwan's defense capabilities. I do think that we can make investments in alternative energies. I come from the Midwest, ethanol producing state. I've worked with Senator Joni Ernst on quite a few things when it comes to biofuels. So I do think there are things we can work together. We recently passed Jerry Moran from Kansas and I, the FAA 5-year reauthorization, and I will continue to do that work. But in the meantime, I still will do my job providing the checks and balances on the executive branch, which is frankly what our founders intended when they created, you know, the system of government that we have.
Senator Duckworth, we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.